Hi, you'll notice that today I'm inside, right? That wise old dude is usually out there in the fields, in the woods, amongst the trees, sat on benches and whatever, okay? But I was going to go out, but it's been really, really windy here in the UK. And although, I am willing to risk my well-being and life and limb so that you can watch one of these videos, right? Uh, but it was the wind, it was the sound. I'd gone out, I'd done a couple, and all you could hear was so, it just really interfered with the video. So I didn't want to leave it any longer. So today I thought I'd do one indoors. And today's topic is, I want to give you a life lesson, as it was, but not from me. No, not from me. This comes from my 85-year-old dad. Now, if you knew my dad, you would know the irony of that, of him teaching you a lesson. But, he's got a very, very good lesson for you that you can learn. And I want to share it with you because I was recently, last weekend, speaking to him about stuff, as you do. And just to give you a little backstory on my dad, he's, like I say, he's 85 years old. Back in the day, did a stint in the army. He was, I'm looking like I'm hazy there, like I'm tired already, right? He did a stint in the army. And after that, when he met my mum, he was mostly out of work and in dead-end jobs and underpaid jobs as well. So it's very tough on my mum because she had 4 kids before she was 21. And then anyway, I left my dad at about 6 when they got divorced, and my mum with her other fella took us off down to Birmingham, and then we moved to Cornwall. And when I was 18, I moved back up north and spent some time, with my dad again. And I saw a lot more of him, apart from the years I was living abroad, of course, in beautiful Malaysia and Australia. But anyway, just recently, my dad's never been, by the way, he's never been an emotional type guy. I think people from his generation, they didn't really express emotions to their kids. And with my dad, though, I think it was more of he's unable to express those emotions. He just doesn't know how. But just recently, he has been getting rather emotional. I did see him hurt. Don't get me wrong, I saw him hurt when, my beautiful brother and wonderful sister passed away early. He was visibly shaken, he was visibly hurt. But even then, we didn't really see any emotion in him, so he's never been the emotional type of person. And this is relevant to the life lesson that he's got for you, because just recently he's been getting sort of more emotional, becoming more open. But not, I don't mean emotional or in the case of, showing feelings and telling me he loves me and stuff like that, right? He's never done that. And I'm not expecting it either. But last week, I was having a chat with him and a cup of tea, and he said to me that, he was a great recorder player when he was at school, singled out for it. And then he said to me, Bob, he said, I should have got my music published. And he loves, classical music. He can hear any little piece that you play him, and he'll know the composer and whether it was a piano concerto or whatever. I don't know that much about classical music. And, he's wrote music as well, and in his 40s, funnily enough, he wrote when he was losing his hair. I've got his genes, as you can see. But when he was losing his hair, he wrote a piece called The March of the Bald-Headed Men, which was quite funny, I thought. But anyway, then, he kept saying to me that, I wish I'd sent my music off and I should have gone to music school, but my mum and dad never encouraged me to do that. And all these things, and I felt deeply sorry for him, the sorrow, the regret the regret that was etched into his face, it was marked in his eyes, and you could feel it off his energy. You know, that he deeply regrets not pursuing his passion. He loved music, he adored music. He still plays his flute today. Not very well because he gets out of breath, but he still plays his music. And, you know, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to get to the end of your life and have regrets that you didn't at least give it a shot. You know, my dad, in his ever increasing quiet moments, you know, the sand in his hourglass is tipping out quicker than ever before, like it's going to do for me and you at some point. And what's the one thing he's thinking? Regret. When my mother, she was in hospital and she was diagnosed with cancer, and she passed within about 3 weeks. You know, one day fit, the next day she's gone. In one of her retrospective moments, when I was seeing her when she was in the hospital bed, of all the things that she could have spoken about, what did she have a heart-to-heart with me about? Not pursuing her singing. She regretted the fact that she hadn't pursued her singing. She loved singing. She'd been in a choir when she was a young girl. And again, you know, she was singled out. She was singled out as a good singer, but never pursued it. My uncle, who's 92 years old, he passed last year, wonderful man. I spent a couple of my very early years with him and my auntie. That's another story and another blog. So I have like an affinity with this uncle, one of those affinities that you can't ever explain, right? But anyway, I went to see him with my dad. He was living in Sheffield not long before he died. And me being me, you know, I talk to people, I've got a way with people, and I can ask people things and sort of get away with it, you know. So I asked my uncle, I said, is there anything that you regret in your life? And he went on to say, you know, he told me some real great things. And his first response was, never regretted meeting your Auntie Brenda, Robert. She was perfect for me. They were married decades, you know. I don't know the exact number of years, but they were married for decades. But then he did say to me, you know, he said, I do regret, Robert, not doing my engineering. He had his own painting and decorating business, but he loved building stuff. He loved building engines. He loved making models and stuff like that. So he deeply regretted that. And I know that he deeply regretted it because my dad went up to see him the following week without me, and he told my dad exactly the same thing. So again, you know, he's passed now, but his hourglass, the sand was pouring out very, very quickly. And he's talking about something he didn't do. Now, I know you've heard this. You've heard it's not the things you do that you regret, it's the things that you don't. But common knowledge doesn't mean it's common practice, you know. You don't want to be like my 85-year-old dad. You know, you don't want to get to that stage of your life and think to yourself, wow, I should have pursued that passion. I should have pursued that dream, because your hourglass is going, the sand is going to come out as well, like it does for everybody. So now you've got to discover what it is. You should be making it your mission. I know if you're in your 20s, you're not going to listen to this. Who's that wise old dude? What's he going on about? You think you've got forever left in front of you. But when you start hitting your 30s and then your 40s, that time accelerates. It's like you're on an intercity train, bang, flying down to your final destination. No stops. No ringing the bell, no asking to get off. It's going to a final destination. So you want to be doing what it is you were born to do, what you love to do. There's something there. And I really do, I implore you, make it your mission to go and find what it is you love to do. You won't regret it. Seriously, you won't regret it. Please do it. Don't procrastinate. Procrastination is the thief of time. Find that passion. There's something you can do that nobody else can do, quite like you can do it. Please, 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 find it and pursue it. You never know where it's going to take you, or where it can lead you, or who you could become. But please try and go and find it. That's all I've got to say for today. The next video I will be back outside. Come rain or shine, it's only if the wind is there that I won't be there. But you know, hail, snow, blizzards, I don't care, I'll be there. I'll risk everything just for you. Now that's worth a like, isn't it? Go on, click like. You can do it. Just press that like button. And I'll see you on the next video. This is that wise old dude saying, thanks very much and keep going for what you want. Thank you. And thanks for watching.